Hello, my name is Lilian. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing tips to help you regrow your edges in case you've lost them. And if you already have thick, full edges, in this video, I'm also going to be sharing tips to help you make sure that it remains that way. So keep watching. You want to learn one or two things about that. But first, before we go into the video, if you're not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you subscribe right now. Hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post new videos. So without any more talking, let's get into it. Many people do not know this, but I feel like you're at higher risk of losing your edges when you're natural than when you're relaxed. I know you'll be wondering like really, how is that possible? Let me explain. So let's say this is a strand of hair, for example. I'm going to be explaining in as layman terms as possible, so that because I want as many people to understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm not going to be using any scientific terms or any biological terms to explain this. So let's say this is a strand of hair. For every strand of hair that you have on your head, you have some part of the hair that is inside your scalp and some part that is showing outside, right? So when you're relaxed, when you put relaxer in your hair, you relax the hair that is showing, right? The hair that is on your scalp. But the part of the hair that is inside your scalp, I know the scientists are already like giving me side eye, but let me just continue. So you have the part that is inside your scalp, so that part remains natural, remains kinky, and that's when, so at any point in time when you're relaxed, you have like two types of hair on your head. Like you have two types of hair, the part that is relaxed and the part that is kinky. So that point of connection between the two parts of your strand is a weak point. Let's say from here to here is a part of your hair that is in your scalp that is kinky, right? And then this whole long part that is showing is relaxed, right? So it's going to be something like this. So this part is hidden in your scalp, you cannot see it. Then this part is relaxed, this part is straight, this part is kinky. So the point of attachment, like if you put tension on your hair from outside, it's most likely going to snap. That is going to break at this point of connection between the kinky and straight part. It's going to break, most likely that's what will happen. It does not break within like the hair shaft that is showing. It's going to snap at the point of weakness. That's the point where your kinky hair and your relaxed hair meet, right? So that's what happens in most cases. So the chances of you uprooting your hair, like everything including the kinky part, is very slim. Most likely it's going to break at that point of attachment or connection, right? But when you're natural, everything is the same. There's no weak points, except maybe if your hair is damaged or something, maybe your ends are weak and stuff like that. But generally, like all things being equal, there's really no weak point that demarcates the relaxed and natural, because you really don't have any relaxed hair. So when you put tension on your hair from outside, your chances of it uprooting is a lot higher than when your hair is relaxed. And that's why when you go natural, like I've heard, like for me, for example, when I was relaxed, I really did not have anything to worry about. Like my edges were good, like I did not have any problem with my edges or doing tight styles and losing my edges. I didn't have any of that. But as soon as I went natural, my first ever projected style, I lost my edges, and I was like what happened? Like, how is this even possible? Because I know my edges to be stubborn and to be like thick and tough, like they can basically withstand anything. Oh, that's what I thought when I was relaxed, because that was my reality. But when I went natural, I noticed that my edges needed more care than my edges need right now that I'm natural. My edges need more care than before when I was relaxed, and that's usually the case for most people. I've heard so many people say that. That's really usually the case for them. That's why you have so many people with natural hair with damaged edges, because they did not pay detailed attention to caring for their edges. So let me just go straight into sharing my tips, the tips that I have for you guys that will help you grow your edges. But first, let me give you a glance of what my edges look like. I'm also going to insert a picture here to show you what my edges look like before, like way back in like 2017, to help you guys compare, to see like the differences between the two. So now over to my tips. Tip number one, I wrote down the tips so that I don't forget anything. So the first tip I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is accept your God-given hairline. This is so important. Like if your edges are damaged already, like the first thing you have to know or you have to do is to try to understand what your natural hairline is and try to accept, because that will help you have realistic expectations when you're growing your edges. So what do I mean by accepting your natural God-given hairline? Like, everyone has a natural shape of hairline. Like for some people, like they have hair that starts just right after their eyebrows and just like moves round, like that's their natural hairline. For some people it's not the case. For me, for example, my hairline starts all the way from here, like goes this way, comes out like this, then goes in, then comes like it's like kind of straight here, then comes out like this is my natural hairline. And I've had so many people try to sell their growth oils to me to help me grow my front hair, in quote, like to make my hair comfort. But like, this is my natural hairline. It has always been that way. There is nothing naturally that I can do that will make my hair come from like this, for it to start here, like where this part of my hair starts from. Like there's really, except I go under the knife, except I do like maybe implants or something, like naturally there's really nothing I can do that will bring my hairline from here where it is here to where this part is. Like this is my natural hair. And accepting it helped me get like a realistic expectation when I was trying to grow my edges. Because if you do not really understand what your natural hairline is, and if you do not accept it, you're going to end up being frustrated, you're going to end up being disappointed, because there's really nothing you can do to change that. So might as well just accept it. And that will also save you a lot of money, because when you finally get to your optimal edge shape, you're going to know that yes, I'm there, and you stop wasting money and wasting time buying things that you really do not need. So accepting your natural hairline is very important. That's the first step to grow your edges. And if your edges do not have a problem, that's like the first step to just being happier in general with your hair. The next tip I'm going to be sharing is accepting your hair texture. Now this is the part that accepting your hair texture and accepting your hair type, accepting the look, general natural look of your hair. I know that we are in a time where it's a thing, it's a trend to sleek your edges, to give you unrealistic baby hairs, to like, you know, even though your hair is kinky, but your hairline is of a different hair type. Like that's what's trending now. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like there's nothing wrong with wanting to, in quotes, slay your edges from time to time. But it's very important for you to accept what your hairline or what your edges look like naturally without any product in it. Because the thing about using gels and edge controls and stuff like is that over time they're going to make you lose your edges. Like let me be as blunt as possible. You're going to lose your edges if you cannot go out without slaying or sneaking your edges. Over time it's going to tell on your edges. You're going to lose your edges because you're forcing your hair into something that it's not. You're brushing hair, tugging hair, pulling hair, and also most of the gels and the edge controls are drying, and so by applying them on your hair, when you're trying to rinse them out, you are causing some damage. You are putting somewhere. As you're trying to brush them into place, you're also causing damage, and so over time all these things add up, and then you end up losing your edges. So it's very important for you to accept your God-given hair texture, your hair type, even when it comes to like the hair around the edges. If you do not have baby hair, like baby hair that just lies down with ease, accept that, and you do not feel like you need to force your hair to look a certain way because of what the media or what society expects. Just learn to leave your edges the way God has made them to be, and it will do you so much good. Now the third thing, and this is very important, and this is something I feel like I've said so many times on here on my channel and on my Instagram, and so many people underestimate, or so many people do not pay attention to, is your diet. I'm also going to talk about medication here. So I have a video where I talk extensively about diet, medication, and how it affects your hair overall, not just your edges. But I'm just going to briefly talk about it now. Your diet, your diet is very important to the overall well-being of your body and your hair, right? So if your diet is not rich enough, like what I mean by rich, I'm not saying just have a special diet, like I don't know what some people might think that I'm saying, like go to a nutritionist, let them map out like what you should eat, what you should eat, and stuff like that. I know that that's not realistic for everybody, but what I'm trying to say is that just make sure that you eat rich, healthy, nutritious foods. Don't just base your diet on junk. I know junk tastes great, it tastes good, but like do not make it your only source of food, because you're basically not getting nutrition from them. So eat whole nutritious foods, eat vegetables, eat whole grains, basically make sure you're eating fresh foods, and make sure that your diet is as varied as possible. Like do not just eat only one type of food. Eat like everything you can come across with eat, because people that eat different types of food have a higher chances of getting all the nutrients that they need than people that just base their diet on just like one type, like one type of food. So try to eat good, healthy, nutritious foods, and try to eat as many types as possible. Like you do not have to take a barrier and start writing, okay, today I got vitamin A, tomorrow okay I got vitamin B. Like that's just stressful and boring. But just try to make sure that you're eating healthy and you're eating various types of food. That will do you good, because your hair needs nutrients to flourish. There are certain nutrients that if you're deficient in them, you're going to, even if you're taking all the right boxes, you're doing all the right things to your hair, to your edges, it will still make the fact that you are deficient in those nutrients, your hair will fall out. Not just both your edges and like your hair in general. So just make sure that you eat healthy, nutritious foods. So my next tip is moisturize your hair, especially your edges. Now, many people talk about moisturizing your hair. You talk about your ends, because they say that your ends they are the oldest part of your hair, and so you need to moisturize them, blah 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 blah. But many people forget their edges. Your edges are also old. Forget that they look short. That's the way they are supposed to be. Like for most people, like your hair gradually gets longer. Like you have skinny hair, then you gradually have your edges that most times are a little bit shorter than the rest of your hair. Like that's the norm. So forget that they are shorter. They are old. The edges are old. They are old and they are mature. Some of them may even be older than your ends, because many people do not trim their edges. So like your edges are really old. So do not say that, because it's just like saying that because someone is short, you just assume that they are young. But that's not the case. Some people are short but they are very old. So your edges are short but they are old. So make sure you baby them too. You should not just babying your ends only, you should babying your edges too. And babying them, I mean moisturizing them, because most styles that we do, our edges are always exposed. So our edges, your ends, people say your ends are usually the first to get dry. Well, your edges are usually also the first to get dry. So make sure you moisturize them, make sure you baby them, moisturize them, seal them. When I talk about babying your edges and when I talk about moisturizing, I'm sure most people think of growth oils. Well, that's not what I mean. Growth oils are good, I know I'm going to talk about them a lot later, but when I say moisturize, I'm talking about water. If you're one that uses leave-in conditioners and stuff like that, apply them. Do not forget your edges when you're applying your moisturizers on your hair. Do not forget your edges, moisturize them. Pay more attention to even moisturizing your edges, because they are always exposed. They are always, most likely, they are usually the first to get dry. They go through a lot, so just make sure that you always moisturize your edges. Staying away from tight hairstyles is very important, because most times, like the number one thing that most people do that cause damage on their edges is their hairstyles, doing tight hairstyles, whether they are making braids or protective styles or just irregular bun, irregular puff. Like most people do their styles very tight. I see so on the internet so much when people want to make their puffs of bun. You see them, they put their hair tie or maybe shoelace, and they just start squeezing. I've even forgotten how to, like, just start squeezing tightly, and you can see they're just. I cannot even bring myself to do it. Like I'm so past that now. Like, but you see them as they are making their bun of puff. Like, you can see how tight it is on their edges. Like over time, wearing those kind of hairstyles will cause damage, and that's why some people feel like that wearing buns and puffs all the time can damage your edges. It's not like a general rule that if you wear puffs and you wear buns, you damage your hair. It's not like a general rule, but if you wear those tight buns and those tight puffs, like, you're going to damage your hair. So stay away from tight hairstyles. Make your hairstyles as loose as possible, and that's I feel like that's like the biggest tip that has helped me grow my edges. That when you are making your buns and your puffs, I like to do like the in-depth finger test. So what I do is, if I'm making the bun or puff and like my finger cannot go into it, I know that it's too tight. So as you can see, like, I can literally put my fingers through. So even though it appears tight, so if you make it loose, once you tie like a scarf around it, it's going to lay flat even though it's loose, right? So that's one thing I do, that to make sure that, see, so that's what I do to make sure that I do not wear my styles, my buns, my puffs, I do not make them tight. So my next tip is reduce your use of brushes. This is also like a continuation of accepting your hair texture and your hair whatever. Reduce your use of brushes. What I mean by brushes, like excessively brushing your edges in a way of trying to sleek them. I'm not saying do not arrange your edges. Like, if you look at my edges now, even I did not brush them but it's not like they look like untidy or anything like that. They look pretty natural, but like they are not brushed. I just, when you're moisturizing your hair, like when you put water in your hair and you just like use your hands or your fingers to like lay it, as soon as you tie your scarf around it, it kind of stays that way. So you really do not know, if you're not trying to sleek or slay your edges in quotes, you do not really need to do so much to it to keep it looking what many people want to say neat of which neat means different things to different people. Some people see my edges now and say that it looks unkept, I should go and brush it. I don't know. So reduce your use of brush. I'm not saying don't use it at all. Me personally, I choose not to use brushes at all, but I'm not saying everyone should do that, but just try to reduce them as much as you can. So my next tip, scalp massages. Now this is the tricky part, because if you watched my previous hair growth videos, I think I've talked about scalp massages. Scalp massaging helps to grow your hair in the sense that if your hair follicles are damaged, right, applying oils, nutritious oils to your scalp. I'm not just saying like oils that are filled with chemicals, like healthy nutritious oils on your scalp. That will help to like heal. It's like if you have an injury on your hand, like there are some oils or some ointments that you apply that will help to speed up the healing process. And that's how scalp massaging and using of oils, that's kind of like what it does, right? To help to like speed up the healing process. So if your hair loss is as a result of damaged hair follicles, because or damage like injury on your scalp, there's some injury that you cannot see. So let me just say injuries on your scalp, injuries on your hair follicles. Applying healthy, natural, nutritious oils on your scalp can help speed up the healing process. And if that's what's the cause of your hair growth, because of your stunted growth or because of your hair loss on your edges, that may help to boost it. But just like any in quotes medication, or just like taking vitamins. Not everyone needs that. I've come to realize that not everyone needs growth oils. Not everyone needs the so-called scalp massaging. Not everyone does, because if you do not have any injury, if you do not have any problem with your follicles, if everything is fine, then you may not need them. Like, it's just like saying taking vitamins. There are some people that take vitamins and they're like, oh, I took this vitamin and just made my hair grow really fast. Like, and that can be true because they're probably lacking in those vitamins that they took. Or someone else that is not lacking in any of those vitamins, if the person takes that same vitamin tablet or vitamin drug, the person might not have the same effect. It might not cause any increase in their hair growth because they did not have that problem in the first place, right? So the growth oils and nutritious growth oils and scalp massaging on your edges may not work for everybody, in the sense that that may not be your own problem. So if you use that, like, there's no guarantee that it will work well, except if your hair loss as a result of damaged hair follicles, then that may work, you know. I hope that makes sense. So that's that about scalp massaging. I used to do that every day. I used to massage my scalp every day with oil, every day. But now I've stopped because I just feel like maybe I'm now lazy. But I just feel like I do not need that anymore. I started doing scalp massaging to help treat dandruff on my scalp. I don't know if I've said this before on my channel, but I know I've said it on my Instagram. I started doing scalp massages to help me with dandruff, because I always used to have dandruff, and so applying oils and massaging my scalp daily helped. Also, using my black soap shampoo together helped to cure the dandruff that I was battling with. Now I've stopped doing scalp massages with oils, and it's not like I've stopped totally, but I no longer do it as often. I just do it when I feel like my scalp is dry and I just want to oil it. So when I oil the scalp, I just go ahead and massage it to make sure that there is even distribution of the oil. So it's not like something I do all the time, and I've not really seen any difference in my hair. Like, I do not have dandruff now that I've stopped doing scalp massages daily. So I'm beginning to think that, well, maybe it was not the scalp massaging that helped with dandruff in this first place. Well, I do not know, but I'm just sharing my experience with you guys. So I feel like that's what scalp massages are for. Not everyone needs them, but if you can try it out to see if you need them. Next tip is keep your hair clean. Keep your hair clean. This is so important, and so many people think that you can just go ahead and keep applying products and applying products and applying products. Not just your hair, also your edges. Applying products, and you go weeks and months without washing your hair, and you think it's okay. The thing is, over time, as you continue to apply products without washing the products out, it gets to a point where your hair will say, I've had enough. And so even though you're applying your so-called moisturizers and you're applying your oils and your stuff, like, your hair is not taking anything in, so your hair is still dry inside, even though you have, it's kind of like it gets suffocated with all these products, and they just stop working. And if your hair is not absorbing any of the moisture that you're giving it, it's going to be dry. And so even though you have so much product on it, it's still dry and it's still prone to breakage. So if you always apply products and you don't wash your hair as frequently as you ought to, then you're still going to experience breakage, because your hair is still going to be dry, and when you manipulate your hair, including your edges, it's going to break. Next, protect your edges at night with a satin scarf. Like, this is another very important tip, because when we sleep, we are constantly tossing and turning and rubbing our edges against, like, cotton, most cases cotton surfaces, like that's our pillowcases, our bed sheets, So applying your hair, basically your edges, a satin scarf can make a lot of difference, because as you're tossing and turning, like, your edges are protected from the fiber of your sheets and your pillowcases. Notice that I said a satin scarf. I did not say a satin bonnet, because most of the bonnets have elastic bands, and so as you're sleeping, even when you tie a scarf, like as you're tossing and turning, you cannot help the movement. Like even though you're tying scalp, it's still bound to move as you're moving, as you're tossing and turning on your bed. And so if it's a certain scalp, like even as it's moving, because of the nature of the scalp, it doesn't cause damage to your edges. But if it's a bonnet that has elastic band, as you're moving, the elastic band is still like ripping your hair as you're sleeping. So over time, you're going to have problem with your edges. My next step is very important. I feel like I've said this before. Is let it be. Let your hair be. Let your edges be. Let it be what it is. If your edges are coily, let them be coily. If your edges are kinky, let them be kinky. If your edges are fussy, let them be fussy. Do not always try to force your edges to look laid or look sleek. I know I've said this before, but let them be. By also letting them go, it's not just about sleeking. Even when you're doing protective styles, I know that most styles, like how much you pick your edges affects how neat the style will turn out. So that's why some people go ahead picking and picking, so like you can see that it's really really tight from the edge. Like just let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. When you're twisting your hair, do not be too hard on your head to like make sure that it's very perfect and very tight at your edges. Let it be. Allow some hair to just like fly away around your edges. Just let it play around, right? You do not have to pick every single hair. You do not have to pick every single hair you have into your protective style. Just let it be, let it flourish, let it, and your hair will thank you for it. Like since I started just letting my edges in particular be, they have like grown a lot. I used to have like a big hole here and here, like a huge hole here, but now like they have, I don't know if you guys can see, like they are probably filled. This is basically skin hair, so you can see that my hairline starts from here and like there's already hair there. Same thing here, like I used to have like a big hole here and at the point I thought that was my natural hairline, but like now see, like it has all filled up. Like that's because I stopped picking my edges. I just let it be, and it has helped me a lot. Next step, be patient. Like this is another very important tip. You have to be patient. How fast you're going to get your edges back depends on how damaged it is at the moment. So for some people it might take a few months, some people might take up to years for you to like grow your edges to be like what it should be. So just be patient, and just be patient. Stop thinking about it, stop picking it, stop touching it all the time in the name of you're trying to stimulate hair growth by massaging it. Just try to be patient and take your mind off it. As long as you're taking care of it in the sense like following all the tips that I've mentioned, then just take your mind off it. You'll be surprised one day you just wake up and realize that, wow, like I never used to have hair here, but I now have hair, you know. So just be as patient as possible, and over time you're going to see great improvements overall on your hair and your edges. So yeah, that's the end. That brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you have any tips that have helped you grow your edges over the years, please comment them down below in the comment section so that I can learn from you, and other people also that watch this video can learn from you. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.